welcome to our podcast.
Hello.
I'm Jan.
I'm Sharon.
We're going to start this one, like, as usual, sharing what we've been up to since the last podcast.
Yes.
We've managed to do quite a bit of walking, haven't we? For a change, because it's been reasonably dry.
It has been. It's been quite nice this week, hasn't it? It's been warm. Only a couple of spits. Because I did send you a text saying you lied to me.
Well, that's what I was just thinking, because somebody on Facebook, because Facebook is the gospel, obviously, someone there said that there wasn't going to be any rain until the 15th of June.
Yeah.
So I thought, great, that's only the day before we come back from our trip, so that's good.
Well, you passed it on to me as gospel.
And then, was it 2 days ago?
Yeah, I think so.
It rained.
Yes, it did.
I went, because I've been to have a haircut.
It's very nice. It's very short and bobby.
Graduated at the back. Yeah, it was sunny when I went there, and as I got in the car to leave the hairdresser, it was spitting with rain. I couldn't
that was
believe
Wednesday
it.
then, not Tuesday.
Yes, it was Wednesday.
It doesn't matter that much.
The day doesn't matter, especially to the people that listen. But then we haven't done anything since.
No,
have
we haven't.
So hopefully,
Yeah, I need to water the garden.
Where we've had so much rain, it's easy to forget
Yes.
that you need to do it. I went down yesterday and watered intending to do the tomatoes that are in the polytunnel, but then I thought, well, I'm here because it doesn't think there's going to be any rain. I might as well, even though the sun was out, I shouldn't really do it when the sun's shining.
Well, that's what happens
But I did
to me.
it.
I think. Well, yesterday I fell asleep anyway. I think I'll do that later when all the garden's in shade.
Yeah.
And then it
Then you
falls out my
forget.
head.
Yeah, that's the
Falls out my
problem.
head.
You've either got to go early in the morning, haven't you, when it's cooler, or do it at night. But I did it
what was
anyway.
That again? What was that?
Cooler.
No,
What?
before that. It's a phrase I didn't really
Morning.
understand.
Morning. Do it in the morning. You don't see much morning, do you?
Early in the
sometimes?
morning, the golden.
Oh, it's the early. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, early in the morning when it's cooler.
Yeah, I don't really see that.
No, okay.
But it does not compute.
Yeah, so we have managed to do some walks that have been a bit shorter because we've been out of practice, haven't we?
Well, I was ill last week, wasn't I?
That didn't help.
I did nothing.
So I was avoiding Sharon last week because
Only last week.
because I was concerned of obviously because I don't think you brought it back from Manchester with you, did you?
No.
You thought because you met up with someone who'd come over from the UK, so that was my concern.
Yes.
Because that always happens, doesn't it? Or
Yes.
nearly always. But I was worried because I didn't want to catch anything off you for Duncan. I had to go back to the UK with.
Yeah. Or even feel ill travelling, which would be awful.
Because we've got to have our wits about us, being that we're going to have to speak French and all this stuff. So that and the rain together, we haven't walked very much. We're quite unfit again at the minute, aren't we? So we haven't been doing as long as we normally would.
But
Better than nothing, though, what we've done.
I've done 3 walks and a swim this week. Which I'm
Yeah,
quite
so
pleased about.
So we went Monday, didn't we?
We did. And Tuesday. And Tuesday we went.
Oh, we did. We walked Tuesday because we wasn't walking on Wednesday, and then you swam. And then yesterday we had chair fit.
We did.
So, yeah, we've not been idle.
No.
We've still managed to keep ourselves going, get the
Well, I was
limbs
so
moving.
tired yesterday because I did chair fit and French.
Yeah, was that more of a brain tired or both?
It's both.
Yeah.
It's both.
We
By the time I come home and I've driven, obviously. Did I drive to... I did both the driving.
Yes, you did the drive in to Keep Fit as well, yes.
Drive to Keep Fit, Keep Fit, drive home. I've only got a sort of 20-minute break in between.
Yeah.
And then I drive to French, use my brain, drive home. I was done for.
Yeah.
Done for.
And the thing is as well, Val, the instructor, did some different exercises again this week, which is always nice.
Yes,
but
it
obviously
is.
it seems to tire us out more because we're using different muscles.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, there were some good ones yesterday. I enjoyed those. Yeah.
And talking about that, it's just reminded me, we went to Manda, and she's a holistic, I got the word now, a holistic
therapist.
Therapist, isn't it? She does acupressure, and what's it called? Shiatsu. Is that what it is? I don't know.
I don't know if they're one thing or 2 things.
No, I don't.
No.
But she did a little introduction course, didn't
she?
she?
I'm doing my
of pressure points, the most common pressure points. and introduced us to lots of herbal stuff that you find in the garden, which a lot of it we would probably look on as being weeds.
Yep.
So it's quite interesting. It's been an introduction, but we're going to go back and have another one with it a bit more in depth, and she's going to do a foraging one, isn't she?
I'm so looking forward to having a forage.
I am, because
Yeah.
a lot of these...
I may bring a basket.
Yeah, why not? Might have to borrow Adam's basket.
Adam's
You're listening,
basket
Adam?
would be
Adam wouldn't
ideal.
be listening, would he? But the thing is, when obviously she was showing them a few hours after she picked them, so they're a bit limp. And that some I knew what they were, and some you just couldn't tell because they were so limp. So it'd be quite interesting to actually pick them, so we could
fresh,
reckon. I might even get photos of each one
Yes,
each time. So
yes.
when I go out again, I say, "Is this it?" So yeah, and one of them.
That was really interesting, wasn't it?
It was really interesting, and she did some demonstrations on us as well, because Val told her about my neck pain and that, and although it hurt, she did try a few different things on that. I can't say it's better because we still don't really know what the problem is. She thinks it's a T1 trapped nerve or something
Yeah.
other.
T1 is just the highest vertebrae, so it's your
Yeah.
top vertebrae, number one. I think they go T and then they turn into C's, don't they?
Oh, really?
On your vertebrae.
No idea.
You'd have to Google
I mean,
it.
just sitting here now, I can just feel it there. But I feel better. Last week at Chair Fit, I was really suffering. So certain movements definitely pull on it.
Yes.
So yesterday I thought it was just the move in the head one, so I didn't do it. And I must admit, it's not been as painful this week.
Good,
So
good.
basically I'm fed up with it. Anyway, so I'm trying to do some of the acupressure points that she did, just as fairly regular as I can. Just, I don't know whether it's getting better, whether the acupressures help it.
Yes.
You forget sometimes, don't you, what
Yeah.
it was before and what it's now. So,
Yeah.
but anyway, so yeah, so we're going to be attending a few more of those.
Yes. Really interesting.
She was even showing me, or showed us all, didn't she, about laying on your back with your heels to your bum, which I cannot do because I've got too much flesh on my thighs. But laying with your legs as near to your body as you can, but laying down on some books, wasn't it? Rather than laying on a cushion, she said lay on some books, and she said that might help. I haven't tried it yet.
Yeah, just release.
That might help with releasing that nerve, but I might actually give that a go. But it's knowing how many books and how deep to, excuse me, how deep to have that behind the neck. But I imagine, that you got that bone, haven't you, at the base of your skull.
Yes.
I reckon it's maybe partly from there down.
Yeah.
I'd have said so. But
I
anyway,
think you should Google a picture of your spine,
yeah, it's
or just spine vertebrae.
was it not
We
spine?
learnt it in French, didn't we, as well? Which was colonne vertébrée.
Yeah,
so
colonne de
Column as
vertebrae.
in column,
Yeah.
really. Yeah.
Oh, spine nerves actually is there. See, what the thing is though, when you get the images on Google and you zoom in, they blur, so you can't really tell. But let's try that one. See, I can't even see that already. That is a good point. I'm going to look at that later because the listeners can't see it. So I'm going to have a look at that later and just see if I can see what she's talking about.
Yes. Good idea.
Okay, so yes, I forgot we'd done that. And what else have we done? Popular walks.
Well, there was the long lunch.
Yes, that was this weekend just gone. We're
On
not
Sunday.
giving you them in order, not that it matters to you, because as you know, if you listen regularly, Duncan and I go into the UK with our French neighbours, and I mentioned that maybe it'd be good to have a get together to discuss things before we leave, in case there's anything we need to remember to take and everything really. Expecting to have an apéro, and then Natalie come back and said, come for lunch. And then she messaged Sharon and said, come for lunch.
Yes, I get invited
So
anyway.
we was all there, and I was a bit worried she was going to be bored by talking about it all, but in the end we didn't talk about it that much. But it was nice, wasn't it? We had started off with this.
Well, nibbles first.
Oh, of course, yes, we did have for the usual apéros, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Aperitif, like slices of sausage and crisps and nuts
I never
and
have
stuff.
sausage like that anywhere else.
No.
But Natalie and Leon's apéros, and then I just scoff it.
Yeah.
So nice.
It's nice because she started, because she's not very spicy person, is she, Natalie? But she started bringing chorizo into the mix, and that's been quite nice.
Very nice.
Then we had, obviously
Sandra.
we're having drinks, and then we had Sandra.
I asked yesterday at French.
Mm.
Well, Leon is a fisherman.
Yep.
And this was a freshwater fish he had caught. And it was the most delicious fish I've ever tasted in my life.
Have you I've tried translating it?
Yeah, I've got it.
I thought it was the same.
Sandra with an E on the end.
Right. Oh, okay.
So it's Sandra rather than Sandra, as we kept saying.
We were saying was eating Sandra.
Sandra. And it's a bit like, in English it's zander.
Oh.
And it's a kind of perch.
Ah, I have to remember that, because we were trying to think.
It was so
Because
good.
Leon asked us what the English version was.
Yeah.
Because we've said it tastes very much like rock salmon.
Yeah, but it was sweeter, wasn't it?
Yeah,
It was
and it was
gorgeous.
And he filleted it as much as he could. But yeah, it was delicious. I mean, it was with just that, with some nice.
Just like a white sauce, wasn't it?
It was, but I don't know what she
She
said.
put mustard in it.
Well, we thought there was mustard in it, and she said she didn't put mustard in. We couldn't think what it was, unless it's something else.
No, I think we thought it tasted of horseradish.
That was it.
And it wasn't. It was mustard. Yeah.
But that was she.
Absolutely
So,
simple.
so we
lovely.
asked her, didn't we? We said, "What's this sauce called?" She said, "Just sauce rapide." So it's just a quick sauce.
Totally beyond me.
Whether that's the
sauce.
recipe or whether that's what she called it, I don't know. But whatever it was nice anyway. So yeah, we had that, and then we had more drinks, obviously.
Well,
then,
going on with the food. Then there was barbecue.
Yeah, exactly. So we ended up going outside. Because first of all, Natalie said about going outside. I didn't get the full sentence. And I thought, because we thought, maybe it's because the sun's shining and we'll sit outside.
Yeah.
And got out there and the barbecue was started. So we ended up having that, but it was a lot of meat.
A lot of meat.
Lots of sausages. And there was pork chops with Mexican spice on. But
no veggies, does it?
No, the only veg we did have actually chips this time.
We did have
So
chips.
they did put the chip fryer outside, and they did fry chips, and they were delicious chips.
They were nice chips.
So that's the other thing we had with the sand, was we had slices of bread, didn't we? So that was nice. Soak up a bit of the sauce, the rapid sauce.
Rapid sauce.
And so then it was just meat, wasn't it? So come Monday, we was a bit full of meat.
Well, at that stage, I left.
Yes, you'd eaten some, hadn't you? And then you had to go. You had another appointment.
I did. I'm such a busy girl. So I went to the painting in Lassalle, which is an annual event.
Yeah, painting in the street.
Yeah, you've been lots of times, but I'd never been. And basically, it's literally what it says, painting in the street. People have set up easels, all amateur painters, presumably, and they just have to paint what's in front of them.
Yeah.
And some were absolutely lovely, and it was a nice day, and the rosary looks gorgeous.
It's gorgeous at the minute. Yeah.
So that was nice, and that was with Jackie, and then we had a coffee and whatever, and then I came home, and I
That's Jackie that was in the interview video.
Yes, same one. Then I messaged Jan, and you were all still there.
Yeah. Well, you did say before you left, if you're still there, I might come back, because
So I
you
went
messaged
back.
and we were still there. So yeah. So he came back, and
I will say you were all quite sloshed.
was we? But so you then joined the sloshed.
I did. I had to catch up.
Yeah, and then it started to get a bit chilly, didn't it? So, we did play some games outside, didn't we, first?
But they kept blowing away. The
Yeah,
cards
every time we felt a gust of wind come, we all had to put our arms over our cards rolled on the table. And then it was just getting a bit chilly, so we went inside, and then Leon announced to Duncan about, says you want a Perro, because usually a Perro is what they have around 5ish, something like that, before eating. So, because then Duncan's realised that they're now inviting us to the evening meal. So we had a Perro's, went inside.
You'd already been there 5 hours.
Yeah, so then we went inside, had the plates come out and everything, and we thought it was going to be something different, but it was just the rest of the meat that we hadn't eaten at lunchtime, so we was pretty full of meat.
And
In
we had
fact,
2
I swear I
puddings.
still am. It's
Yeah.
Friday, and I swear I'm still
Yeah.
clogged up with meat. But
2 puddings as well.
Yes, because you bought tart, didn't you?
I did bring. Well, my lovely neighbour. Well, she's not my lovely neighbour anymore. I hate her.
Yeah.
She's
Should explain
leaving.
why she hates her in a minute. Yeah.
Because she heard I wasn't well, had given me a fruit tart.
Yeah.
So I brought that with me. So we had
Yeah.
that. But before that, we'd also had this big moussey cake thing.
It had like what is it they call that?
It's like a biscuity base. It had.
A
isn't
biscuit
it?
base,
like
but it has like a really
cheesecake.
shiny. There is a name
Yes.
for it, isn't there?
Yeah. Is it like a mirror glaze? Is that what it's called? I'm trying to go back to my Great British Bake Off days.
It's not ganache, is it?
I don't
Anyway,
think
it was a
shiny.
shiny orange, like almost. It's got a little bit of gelatine in it, isn't it? And then the inside was mousse, very tasty. So we had that for, like earlier on.
Yeah.
And then when you come back, we had
We did.
the second half of the barbecue meat and tart.
There was a lot of food.
So there was a lot of food, but we needed it to soak some of the drink up, I have to say.
It was interesting because I can't remember. I think it was
Squeaky chair.
Off Menu, the podcast, and they were talking about having a Kia. And they said, oh, well, you know, obviously a Kia is a very special drink that you only have on special occasions.
Oh, is it really?
And I'm thinking, we have it all the time.
Exactly.
I had about 4 on Sunday.
What they're saying, French only have it especially.
No, I think it's because, was it English or American and English? So they think of Kia.
Well, I suppose,
as
yeah,
very,
because
very
it's,
special.
yeah, it's, what do you want to call it? What's the word?
It's like a going out drink in
Yeah,
the
but it's
UK,
sort of,
isn't
is it continental, I'm trying to
Yes,
think?
maybe.
Something like
Yeah,
that.
a bit exotic.
Exotic, that's
Yeah.
the word I was looking for.
Where
yeah.
here it's almost every
It's
day,
just,
isn't
yeah,
it?
exactly.
And
You
I
go
had
to the bar and you have a Kia.
Yeah, and I had the marron liqueur, didn't I?
Well, I tried it as well, but I
Yeah.
wasn't keen. But you didn't mind it.
No, it's not chestnut.
It's chestnut, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's very nice.
Yeah, I wasn't
I
so
did like
keen
the
on that.
caramelly.
So I like the
taste.
peach syrup in my Kia and the mûre in my Kia, and sometimes the cassis. So we had that meal. And going back to your neighbour,
Yes.
you've just got to know this neighbour because she lives on her own, doesn't she?
She does.
She has a cat and she has a chicken.
Yes.
And you've been trying to get the courage up, haven't you, to talk to her so you can be friendly with her and like you would
Yes.
with any neighbour, but
Yes.
it's more difficult because she's French.
I've got this thing where I just panic when I go to speak French and nothing comes out. So we've always said hello and, you know, how are you and stuff, but not much more than that. And we've just as my French is improving a little bit, we've begun to talk more.
We're taking her to Chair
Yes,
Fit.
yes.
She's been a few times. She hasn't been the last couple of weeks, but
No.
she's been, and that's given more opportunity to chat in the car.
Have a little French chat in the car.
Yeah.
And now she announces she's leaving.
Well, she said to me, because her son had been there that week before, hadn't she?
Yes.
And so we were asking how that went and everything. And then I think knowing that you may not quite understand what she's saying and you were driving, she turned back to me and said that I'm putting my house on the market, basically.
Yes.
Because she wanted to live near her son. And then because you said, what'd she say? And I said, she's basically moving, Sharon. She's leaving.
I wasn't happy.
Oh, Sharon is devastated because...
Well, she's lovely.
I mean, it could take years to sell. She could still be there a while, but...
And I did say, as soon as I see anybody viewing, I'm going to turn my music up really loud and maybe dance naked in my garden.
And she laughed. I tried to get over to her, didn't I? And she laughed and she said, I said it's basically saying in French, that's not nice. No, I'm only joking. So, yeah, but, I mean, I understand why she wants to move.
Yes.
Because she was saying that it takes her son like 3 hours to get to her.
Yeah. And after
so he
a
stays
week's
with her for a while.
and,
It's a bit more difficult. Although she could get other people to do it, but maybe she hasn't got that much money.
Yeah,
she'd have to pay them,
I
wouldn't
don't
she?
think she has, to be honest. I think she's probably just got a little pension.
But it's a lovely...
Well, it's a big house.
It's a big house. She's got a big garage and a big barn.
Tons
and a lot
of
of garden. I think she said she got about... Was it 1,000 square metres, she said?
I don't know, I didn't catch that.
It's quite big anyway, but she's managed that all her time there, hasn't she, on her own?
I can hear her mowing and, you know, it's a huge amount of work to keep that. And she does keep it lovely.
Yeah, so she'll
But it's
probably
a
end
lot.
up with something much, much smaller.
Yeah, 'cause she's in her 70s, isn't she?
I don't know whether she's that old, same as us. She doesn't look...
I think she's a little bit older than us.
Yeah, she doesn't look the 70s. So she doesn't look old. So so that was that. Other than that, what else have we done?
Champion v Grenier. I've got my list.
Champion. Was that not last weekend? No, it couldn't have been because we was at the first weekend after the last podcast. Basically, we went to the Champion v Grenier, which is the next village. No, the next village to us is Poulet, but it's very close. Yeah, and it's always good. Always at the end of May. And it's usually very big, and it's nearly always good weather. So we were lucky because the weather was good. It's hard work. It's a lot of walking because there's quite a lot of mountains, as me and you would call, but there's lots of slopes up and down. So it's quite hard work. And because Duncan was up for it because it's a local one, I'm forgetting that he got his grazed leg, as we mentioned in the last podcast. So he was walking on this leg and ended up. Didn't do him any favours. No. He was in a lot of pain after that, but it's getting better. It's slowly getting there. But so we didn't buy anything. Oh, you did. You bought plants, didn't you?
I think it's because we'd been to Manda's introduction to herbology, right. So I decided I needed a herb garden that day. Yeah. So I bought quite a few herbs. Yeah. And I planted them all up.
I was going to say, are they in the garden?
I haven't killed anything yet.
Good.
So, I was really pleased. I don't think I bought anything else, did I? Was it just the herbs?
You didn't buy any shoes, did you?
No.
I know that you looked at some shoes, but I don't know if we actually picked up anything. Duncan was talking to some lady about some ridge tiles, but that's never happened.
Oh, right.
Other than that, I don't think we did
buy
anything.
No, I think it was just the plants.
We ended up just having a wander around, having a talk, and...
Yeah. So it's a nice... It's got some nice... more brocon stalls as well, more antique.
There was a mixture,
stalls,
it was a mixture.
I like,
But then, is, as with all of these vid greniers, it's hard to get any food. There are a few food stalls, but
I think there are 2 or 3
the queues are ridiculous. But in the centre of the town, near the church, there used to be a boulangerie. And so we would if we couldn't get in those queues, we go to the boulangerie stall and get something from there.
Yes.
But that boulangerie is closed down.
Yeah.
So that wasn't there. So then the restaurant near there had long queues, so we gave up on that.
Yeah.
So in the end, we just made our way back to the car, didn't we?
Oh, we had a kebab.
And we went to the kebab shop, which it's a favourite at the moment because it's reasonable price. It's never busy.
Never closed.
The food is good. It's never closed. And
they're nice people in there, aren't they?
They are nice, and it's a kebab shop which is you can actually get a small dessert in, which is not very common either. So enjoyed that. That's as usually I go to these days because obviously this being France is shut on a Sunday.
Yep.
Apart from the odd place, I think the only restaurants that are open are possibly the English ones. So, but then they're miles away, so I wouldn't drive all the way over for them anyway.
No. Well,
I don't really want to go to the English ones.
No, I discovered a new favourite sauce.
Yeah, you didn't you? Duncan's been having that for a while. No, not exactly the same one. He usually has samurai, but he's changed now. I think it's the same as you, isn't it?
Yeah, Algerian. Yeah. Algerian. I'm assuming the guys in there are probably Algerian.
These do appear to be. Yeah.
So it's really nice little sauce. It's not too spicy, but it's got a little kick at the end. Really like it.
And it seems to have a lot of garlic in it, doesn't it? I'm sure those chunks are garlic.
And there's definitely some little pepper, that little red peppery bits in it as well.
Yeah, because I normally always go for the mayonnaise, but I tried the Algerian this time. Yeah, that was nice. Made a nice change. Yeah. So other than that, what else have we done apart from the walks? Which, if you watch the Foppy's France videos, sometimes they're included on there, so you can see some of our walks.
Oh, I wasn't sure if I'd said on the last video about Izzy.
Yes.
I lost my cat when I was in Manchester, unfortunately. Izzy passed away. I had friends at the house looking after both the cats, so I felt really sorry for them having to deal with all that. She was an old lady. She was nearly 15. She was a tiny little thing, wasn't she, as well? Yeah, and she had some kind of tumour. So.
I still swear she waited till you'd gone away to go, because they just seem to know it's going to happen, don't they? It's like they sometimes take themselves off, don't they, to die or something. And it's it wouldn't surprise me.
Oh.
They know who their owner was, but anyway, so so this is it. So
it's just Marco now, and
so Helen and Julie had to take her to the vets and to have her cremated.
They did, which was lovely of them.
They didn't have to. You asked them to. It's not like they've just.
No, they said to me, "Do you want us to keep her here till you get home?" And it was another 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
And I thought that's not going to be pleasant for anybody.
No.
And I'm not one of these people who needs to see a person or animal after they've died.
All you want is your last memories of her.
Exactly.
Isn't it?
I'd rather remember them as they were. So they did go ahead and do that for me, which was really nice of them. Yeah, so it's just me and Marco in the house now, and Jackie and Susan.
Yeah.
So,
You're just getting used to that.
Well, Marco, I've now decided I'm going to try and leave Marco for a couple of nights on his own, because I never could with Izzy because she needed to be injected because she was a diabetic.
Yeah.
So I've bought this automatic feeder.
Yeah.
Which is great fun. Marco.
Yes, because while we was having the lunch on Sunday, wasn't it?
Watching him.
It popped up on your phone, didn't it?
Yeah.
Watching Marco have his food. Yeah.
Yeah. So you can set how many times it releases food during the day, and you could do a little voice as well. So I had one on there which went lunch. Then I had another one that just went Marco, which is how I normally call him. And it's got a camera on it so you can watch remotely. So
they're quite good fun, because I think people do worry about the pets when they're not there sometimes, don't they? I think more so perhaps with dogs, because dogs can get up to God knows what, can't they? Mind you, cats can be mischievous, can't they?
Yeah.
But
he'll just knock things off of surfaces and scratch the bottom of my armchair. Yeah.
And there's obviously never any doubting, if he's the only cat in the house, sort of thing, that who's done it.
Yes.
But so you got it on camera.
Yes.
So look, I saw you do that.
Yes.
But I've had a phase of I've made about 4 banana breads lately, because my Duncan's had some problems eating lately, because it's going to get new teeth. It's exciting. I bought bananas, and even that he struggles with. So I've been making banana bread, and they've been nice.
Yes, I've had a couple of slices. Very, very nice.
I have to say though, that once it's there, it's hard not to eat. Made them the other night, and I had it on its own. I keep thinking I must try it with butter.
Oh, it's lovely with butter.
And twice I've had it with ice cream, caramel ice cream. But Dunk knows it's there, and he just keeps going back and cutting another slice, because he seems to manage that better. I don't know why he can't manage the banana, but it's a bit weird. So so that basically has been our life since the last podcast. We've apart from organising, Dunk has been online just looking at organising trips, bits to do on the trip, an UK trip, and he's now organised 2 theatre trips, which are quite good because they're small theatres, so I always think they're a little bit more intimate. Obviously cheaper, but I think they're going to be quite good, because being that Natty and Leon will be with us, it's hard you can't go to a play or anything like that, because they won't know what on earth's going on. And we know what that's like, because we've been to a few French things here, and we've not, you get the gist of it, but it's not quite the same. So to do something musical, and that is a different thing. And Natalie loves her music. Well, they both do. So.
Oh, I think it's going to be a fantastic trip.
Yeah. So
you're all
that's just 2 days away now.
Yeah, and you're all coming to me when you get back.
Yes, it's in the calendar.
So I'm hoping we'll be able to get the photos up on the telly.
Yeah, I'll have to speak to Dunk about that, because he normally can, so I don't see why not.
So I think that'd be good. I'll get to see all the photos and catch up with what you've been up to. It'll be good fun. Good fun.
You got any dreams this week, Sharon?
Yes, this was last night's.
Right.
Now, in my dreams, I have this scenario in my dreams where and it happens a lot, where I'm still working in the UK, but every other week or so I come to France to my house. But it's not my house.
Right, okay.
It's a different house in France, but it's always the same different house in France, if you see what I mean. It doesn't relate to anything I've seen.
Right, so it's not even a friend's house?
No, it's my dream
house, sort of,
Yes,
I know what you mean.
My house in my dreams that I have in France. But
the house that only exists in your dreams.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
So, but it's now turned into an old rusty caravan.
Oh, that's a bit sad.
It is a bit sad, but it's in the same place.
Yeah.
That the house is always in my dreams, but it's in a rusty old caravan. And I had lots of people coming over from the UK to help me repair it, because it was a bit of a mess. And then there was a storm, and a tree hit the caravan. And
that's never good.
No, the ground all around was flooded as well. So when I got up in the morning, there's a knock at the door, and it was the Russians.
Yeah, okay.
And the Russians came and told me off for not dealing with the tree, and also for leaving pins in with a little bit of Christmas tinsel outside. You know, when you sometimes just pull it down and there's a pin, a little bit of tinsel left.
Yeah. And you left them behind, did you?
I had. So the Russians weren't happy. I don't know who these Russians were. But it was like, I didn't question it. I went, oh my God, it's the Russians. I will say that I did talk about the Russians recently.
Oh, right.
So
Well,
whether that was still in my mind,
sometimes
I don't know where the rusty caravan came from. And I don't know why I still dream about this same house in France that I've never seen here. Only appears...
Can you place what it looks like in your head, though?
Yeah, I can see the location of it and everything.
It'd be spooky, wouldn't it, if you found it?
If only I could draw, I would draw it and its location. I can see it in my head. It's on just off a main road.
Yeah.
It's on a little estate. I mean, Natalie and Leon and you're there and everything, but it's not here.
Wow.
I don't know what my brain does.
Well,
you had a dream as well, didn't you?
I was just thinking, it's not very often I remember dreams, as you know, but yeah, I had another one this time. I can't even go into too much detail because I can't remember it all, but I do remember, for some reason, it's something to do with Italians.
Oh, right.
And Duncan and I were killing
Italians?
Killing Italians. And then somewhere along the line, a friend of both of us, Duncan and I, I was with this friend when I met Duncan, and basically her and her husband appeared in the dream and came to live with us, and they joined us in the killings.
And do you know why you were killing?
I have no idea. But it's again, it's, you know, like dreams, they say, is always the opposite to how you are, or usually, and yeah, it's not like us, obviously. We don't go around killing people.
That's what you say.
So yeah, so that was a bit of a boring one, but a weird one.
Boring? It can be boring. If you've been killing and then you invite some friends to stay and they stop killing as well.
Okay.
I think that's why you haven't got a cellar. That's where all the bodies are.
Yeah. We've just put the floor over it, covered them all up.
Yeah, the bodies are there.
Yeah. Okay, we thought this time I'd seen, I don't know if any of you have ever seen Kristen and Jörg, the German couple. They're a lovely couple, but they're very, very sweet and nice and
Anglophiles.
Yeah,
aren't
they do a lot of holidays in cottages, and they're very much into English history, and
they live in England.
Yeah, they do live in England, but they love all anything British basically, but very proper English.
Yes.
Whereas we wouldn't necessarily think of it, but they're very much into Jane Eyre and all that sort of era. They love all the clothes. They they go to towns and dress in costumes. Anyway, I watched their video the other day of their comparisons of Germany to UK.
Yes.
And it made me think it's quite a good one to chat about, because we could try it on certain things. So I made a list of what things they discuss and see if we could compare to France to UK with certain things.
Yes.
One of the first ones they discussed was like the roads.
Yes.
Now, I don't know about you, but to me the roads are very quiet. I can only assume that's because the country is so much bigger.
Yes. Yes.
And even, well, I suppose, big towns are going to be busier, but then even that's probably at certain times of day, don't you think?
Yes, yes. I mean, I suppose we have to bear in mind that we're going from London to rural France as well, so
Yeah.
maybe we wouldn't have the same experience if we lived
True.
in Paris or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is very quiet around here. In fact, if we get stuck in a traffic jam, it's a big deal, isn't it? We go, oh, 5 cars in front of us. What's going on?
It's just, and it's funny, isn't it? Because even, was it the other day? I think it must have been I was out with Dunk at the weekend, and we were going down a road, and just down our main road. That's right.
Yes.
And I was saying, but where's all this traffic? It's just a few lorries and a few cars, and I said it must be lunchtime, but it wasn't. But for some reason, but sometimes that only happens because there's been a diversion from another road, so they're having to come through here. But yeah, generally most people that come here are surprised how quiet the roads are and how well they're looked after.
Oh, the roads are so good. So good.
You don't find potholes very often.
No.
You might, and again, in a busy town you might. But generally the roads are looked after, and if there's any problems with them, they seem to be on it really quickly, don't they?
Aren't they? And they look after the verges as well.
Yep.
You don't get tons of McDonald's thrown on the side of a road.
You might occasionally, and they'll still blame it on lorry drivers.
Yeah. So we see that a lot in the UK.
Oh God, yeah.
They
loads
don't
of rubbish
look
on the
after the
roadside.
verges at all.
No.
But here they're kept mown and clear, and the trees are kept.
And I think as well
Trimmed.
they've known that there was going to be a lot of rain because the ditches on the side of the roads they made sure they were clear and cut them deeper.
Yep. So
they're really good with that.
Yeah. So definitely roads are so much better, and we don't actually have road tax, do we? Not a specific.
No,
thing.
not specific, not like you would in the UK. I don't know about any other country, but you don't pay road tax. But it comes in somewhere though, doesn't it?
I think it's a little bit in your insurance.
Oh, possibly.
And then of course there are lots of toll roads.
Mm.
But when you think in the UK there are toll roads now, and road tax, and the roads are just awful.
Well, it's just a nightmare, isn't it? The
potholes, especially.
The motorways in UK are nearly always busy. Potholes, even on the motorways, are really bad.
Yeah, and in country roads, so it's not just a town thing.
No. And
just not looked after.
And that you seem to always see a lot of roadworks going on, but as fast as they're fixing them, they seem to be breaking somewhere else, don't they?
Yeah. It's just not that kind of investment.
Yeah, and we just always dread it. As soon as you get to the other side of the tunnel or get off the ferry, you just think, oh, here we go.
Yep,
and it's sad because people living in the UK are probably moaning at me now, saying, no, it's not always like that, but that is how it feels to us now because we've got another experience, isn't it?
Absolutely.
And talking about roads, one thing was comparing the petrol stations. I don't think, because apparently in Germany that's tiny, and you don't get a supermarket in them or anything. It's almost like just go into this one little shop, pay for your petrol. Whereas UK and here, petrol-wise, they're similar, aren't they?
They are. I always remember was it in Greece? They had those tiny little ones.
Oh,
you almost have to pull onto a pavement to use it.
I remember seeing small ones like that in Italy.
So that kind of thing. Increasingly here they are those bigger ones, aren't they? Certainly we tend to use ones attached to either a supermarket now or the big oil company names like Total here are very
so that's what makes I think that they are very much the same because some of them have even got, they'll have a supermarket within it the same as UK as well.
Yes, I mean I think that's quite recent.
I think
I like that. The one thing they don't have here, which I would like, is the ATM, like the cash machine, which is quite common in the UK, isn't it?
No, some of them will have the parcel pickup
Yes,
points, but they don't have ATMs.
Yeah.
I can't remember ever seeing one inside either. You might on the major ones, on the motorways, thinking about it.
Yeah,
I'm not even sure about that.
No.
Because they'll have the coffee machines in the big major ones for the big roads. They'll have the coffee machines and maybe chocolate bar machines, things like that, and generally a canteen or something. But not an ATM. That's a good point.
What I do like going onto the motorways is there are always those regular air, which is not always for petrol, but you know if you pull off there, you're going to get a half decent toilet.
Is it AIRE? Isn't
yes.
It, I think? Yeah. So, and it usually has a name, so you know which air it is. But yeah, they're quite often reasonably equipped, aren't they?
Yes. Yeah. And there's usually a picnic area. You could sit and have a packed lunch if that's what you had, and a toilet.
Yeah.
Which is not always the case in the UK.
But the airs, which I think that's pretty. I'm pretty sure you don't get anything like that, do you, in UK?
No.
But airs are places you can camp, aren't they? You can stop with your camper vans there for free.
Only for camper vans.
Yeah, that's it. Camper vans.
But you can
stop there for free, and you've got all the facilities.
Yeah.
They're very, very good at providing stuff for camper vans.
I think if your town's over a certain size, you have to provide an air.
Oh, really? I didn't realise that was a rule. So, because when we thought about doing a van conversion, and we thought, well, because the cheapest way would be to stop at airs en route, and a lot of people do that.
Yes.
And some of them are stunning. I mean, when we went down south, wasn't it? We stopped at, I think that was an air. That was a big place to stop and eat. Probably charge your car because it wasn't that long ago. Yeah, and you could park up, and that was had beautiful things to see while you were there as well. They seem to really go.
You think of the ones that we know of locally here. I mean, the one in Lassalle is by the Rosary, which is a lovely place to stop for a couple of days, isn't it?
Yeah, they've got all the facilities again, and you've got the town immediately there. You can go and eat and drink and everything.
Yeah, and Fertimasse by the lake.
Yep. Perfect places, yeah. You definitely don't get that. Well, unless anything's changed in the UK, I don't remember seeing it like that.
No, it'll be campsites that will charge you.
Yeah.
I mean, it might be a space thing to a certain extent, you know.
Well, that's a good point. Yeah, there are things we've got here due to the amount of space, whereas England is so overcrowded, basically. The shop opening times, we've probably talked about it many times in videos, and that here, obviously it shuts for 2 hours lunch. That's for most people. The big supermarkets don't tend to shut, although our big-ish one in Lassalle does shut for lunch apart from Friday, Saturday.
Yes.
But then they're shut all day Sunday. Sometimes if they are open on a Sunday morning, then they'll be just shut on Monday. They're always determined to get their day off.
Yes.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
And there's sometimes, it used to be that very often different towns would have different days shut, because I remember us coming here on holiday and we were at Monday, so we thought, all right, okay, well, we'll go and find another town because they're open on a Monday, and so we'd have to go around. But I think most of them seem to be doing Monday now. It's like someone asked on Facebook the other day, someone's coming over who wants to treat them to a really nice meal on a Monday. Does anybody know anywhere that's open? And everybody just come on and said, it's open on a Monday.
Don't try and do something on a Monday.
Unless it's an English restaurant again.
Yes.
They do tend to.
Yes.
And we think we found one other restaurant that seems to be open a lot, other than the kebab shop.
Kebab shop's always open.
But that's not what they would call a special meal.
No.
It is to us, because we love it, but
The lunchtime thing, it's a shame in a lot of ways that it is beginning to get eroded, because I like the quaintness of nothing being open on a Sunday and shut for 2 hours for lunch.
Yeah.
I like that.
There are people, including some English, that would prefer they did because they work full time.
Yes.
But I don't think that's an excuse.
You've got Saturdays, you've got late nights
You
during the week.
can plan ahead, buy a couple of weeks in advance.
In the old days, that's what we all did.
And if you lived near a town, you just went out every day and got your food, didn't you?
Yeah. And shops were closed. I remember in Woolwich were closed on a Thursday afternoon, I think.
Yeah, Welling was a Wednesday.
Yeah. So it's just more traditional.
Yeah.
Where in the UK, and of course definitely in America, I don't know about Australia, it's 24-hour economy, isn't it?
It does seem to be, doesn't it?
So things go through the night and all day, every day, all the time.
And that all has a knock-on effect, doesn't it, to your finances, because you think it's convenient just to go out buy something. and your weight and health and everything, because you just keep going out and eating rubbish food and of course the other side of that is if you don't go out, you've got everything available because you're near a town online as well, so you can just sit.
Oh gosh, yeah.
You can just sit there and get fat.
Yeah,
you know, everything lends itself to bad health these days.
Yes, we haven't got delivery locally, have we? We've started to have some Uber Eats appear and things like that, but none
again,
of them.
that would be centre of mayhem, won't it?
None of them come out as far as us, so we haven't got any of that.
Which makes sense anyway. You're delivering food, it's going to be cold or definitely. Well, this is it because you're on your own, aren't you? And you can just think, I can't be bothered.
But I always think if I can get, when I'm dieting, I'm not dieting at the moment. It'll come round again.
The dieting season will start again.
Yes, it will. But I used to think if I could just get to like 7:30, then I know that Intermarché's closed.
Yeah.
So I can't drive down there and get anything.
Yeah. Exactly.
Well,
we've got our little bar, but thankfully it doesn't hold a lot.
No.
You could get, if you were desperate, you could get chocolate in there.
I could.
But he's not open. He's not open Sunday or Monday,
and
so
he's
you
not
can't eat
normally open past about 7 either,
no.
is he? Yeah.
No, that's true. Yeah. So the opportunities have gone.
The opportunities have gone. Where in the UK, I'd be able to go to a 24-hour Tesco, or just order from Uber.
Yeah, I must, because none of that. I don't think too much of that was available when I was still
No,
living there.
no. I think COVID did a lot to promote
it did, didn't
that.
it?
Yeah. But I mean, my kids, especially Fee, they will say, okay, well, when Fee wasn't well, was it the week before, wasn't it? The week before I went to Manchester, I think. They could order food in and also get that same Uber driver to stop at the chemist for them.
It's incredible, isn't it?
And, get them some Lemsips or whatever and then drive both to her. So it's just so different, different.
I mean, I think that's really good when it comes to medicines and stuff.
Yes.
Food, not really, if you're being lazy, because you've probably got food in.
Yeah.
But medicines, I think it could be quite a good thing. I mean, I think about my daughter being on her own with the children.
Yes.
It's not always going to be able to get out, so it's good to be able to phone for something like that. But it seemed to start, what bugged me was when people started saying that they were ordering a coffee to bring in. I mean, for goodness sake.
Fee's done that before.
Why? I mean, you can make your own.
Well, because
I know it's not the same as a Starbucks or...
Yeah, no, I mean, I think they've done it when they've been working from home and maybe they're in a meeting. No, I don't know. No. I don't know if there's any excuse.
No, I don't think there is. You can have a coffee maker on the desk beside you.
Yes, I know.
If you listening Fee, I'm sorry, but there's no excuse.
There's no excuse.
And one thing, talking about medicines, the pharmacies, I mean, they seem to really take pride in their pharmacies.
Yes.
Don't you think? I mean, obviously, what we remember is Boots, Superdrug, Super Saver, although they're not pharmacies, but they have a chemist in the corner, as it were, don't they? A dispensary for your prescriptions.
Yes.
But the rest of the shop is just, it's everything. Well, some of them have got food and toiletries and everything, haven't they?
Yeah.
Like Boots, they'll have snacks, won't it?
Yes.
As well as getting your fart. So they're very mixed.
And also in supermarkets, you can get quite a lot of
your pharmacy, that's
pharmacy
right.
stuff, very,
basic,
very cheap.
like cold stuff and actually, there's usually a whole section, isn't there, of pharmacy stuff.
Where that doesn't happen here, they're protected here.
Yeah, the pharmacies are a separate thing. Also, the pharmacies are just pharmacy, aren't they?
Yes.
Apart from, they might have a few, what do you want to call it, like when you've got a bad leg and you need a leg support, things like that.
Small aids for disability aids.
It's more like disability aids or injury support. Anyway,
yes.
They'll have that, but other than that...
Sometimes they have cat and dog things.
Oh, do they?
Sort of veggie things like the flea collars or the special foods.
Oh, right.
They do that in
I'm just thinking as well,
pharmacy.
Pharmacies in UK would have perfumes as well, and I don't think I've seen that.
No,
I haven't seen that at all.
But what they also do here is they do a lot of alternative medicine.
And that is what surprised me, because when I first come over, I thought, because you can imagine the French as we've said so many times, they're stuck in their ways, won't change, but they're very open to, holistic. And
yes, yeah.
I mean, Natalie, the neighbour, and Leon, obviously, they don't like taking any medicines, do they, really? They'd rather try and do something naturally.
Yeah, so there's always quite a lot of that, and there's quite often a green alternative to traditional medicines, if you like, or a more natural alternative next to each other. Yeah. So that's quite good as well.
Well, even that little market that was on in the Salle de Fête the other week, there was quite a few people there talking about holistic stuff, and so it was even there, which, I mean, we know Cedric's very up for all this different stuff as well anyway, isn't he? So he would promote that. But if you go to anywhere that's got artisans there, there's nearly always something health related there.
Yeah. Well, I think it's not necessarily more marginalised, but it'll be in your trendy towns in the UK. So it'll be in Brighton or something like that.
Yeah.
You won't necessarily
or
get
London
it.
Might have it.
Yeah. In more out the way places.
Yeah, I mean, talking about that and talking about Duncan's leg, I mean, I asked Manda, the lady who does the holistic medicine, what Duncan could use on his leg muscle that's still really hurting, and she said witch hazel. I haven't looked yet, but she said she didn't think that was available here. So I mean, it's obviously certain things. So, and I did look online, and I nearly ordered something online, but then we've got that difficulty again about being here. On there, it all immediately says it'll be this much postage, but then you are going to have to pay any taxes or anything due. So we never used to have any of that before Brexit.
It's a Brexit thing.
So it immediately makes everything so much more expensive, so I had to cancel that order.
Yeah, and obviously it works the same in the UK now if they want to try and order something from Europe. Yeah, because we're not in the EU, we're not, part of that general protection of tax amounts.
No.
Our postage is more expensive because we're sending stuff to the UK because the UK is a third country. It's not part of the EU, so again it's not protected by that. So that sort of transactions between the two countries now are far more difficult.
No,
Hence I had my problem in Manchester where I buy things online and have them delivered to Fee's house. And then forgot, and then had loads more to bring back.
And then you end up not saving anything because you had to buy a suitcase and pay the tax.
Waste of time.
Yeah, because I think that's probably what prompted Duncan, because obviously on this trip we're about to do, we were just taking small bags that we can put under the seat to make the whole trip a bit cheaper flight-wise. And then he looked up and we had just pay another, €20 to bring a bag back, because you're often going to want to buy stuff and bring back.
Yes.
So we're going to take another bag with us that we keep in the bag, and then it's already paid.
Yes.
But apparently if we didn't do that until we got to the airport, it would cost us 70.
Yeah.
And that's a big difference.
Yeah.
So these are all things you have to sort of bear in mind.
Yes.
So I think we're going to have to end this podcast and do a part 1 and part 2, because I've still got so much to talk about.
I know. I think we spend so long at the beginning, don't we, doing our catch up and our
but
drinks.
they want to know what we're up to, don't they? So
well, I'm not suggesting we cut it, but then,
we get carried away chatting full stop. So we'll end this one here. Look out in a couple of weeks' time for part 2, and then you'll hear the rest of our opinions or our comparisons between France and UK.
Yeah.
So au revoir for now.
Oh, bye-bye.